Everything is just the three of us. So it's mega, but we do it for the love of it. We do it because it's important.
It's just whatever you get. It's just some guests are serious, some are really funny. What are you waiting for? Come and get this honey. It's absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Join the hype, like and subscribe.
Wow, that's a really good question.
Hello and welcome to a Friday evening version of Absolute Bedlam with my son Casper, who doesn't usually come on the podcast other than when me and him just chat about pointless stuff like how to make a cup of tea. But we've got the Legends SADCULT.
Hello.
Hello. So I think I saw a poster of yours in Weymouth. When do you reckon? About 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I messaged you on Instagram, I think, but it probably just got lost in the requests.
Oh, okay.
And I've been kind of chasing you guys down subconsciously ever since. And then Casper started actually playing guitar and covering quite a lot of songs. And we've somehow managed to all align. And like I said, we're doing this on a Friday night because I have Casper at weekends. So, yeah, is there anything you want to say to start with? No?
No.
Okay, just going to keep up the cool guy persona as we go.
Fantastic. I'm glad the posters are working. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, a good old QR code always seems to... People scan it out of curiosity, I think, sometimes, in case they get rickrolled or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Do
goal.
that. We should actually do that. That'd be brilliant to put a
Yeah.
Rickroll on a SADCULT poster. Just as a one-off.
Awesome. So I've got two questions for you, and then Casper's got the third one. So I'll start with, how did you guys find school? Was there a certain part of it you really enjoyed? Did you confide to a certain clique, or did you absolutely hate it from start to finish?
Do you want to go first, Pete?
Yeah, sure. It was, I don't know. I mean, I didn't mind it personally. I think I was quite a shy kid always from the start. So I sort of stayed out the way of everybody, whatever kind of clique they were in. And weirdly, I ended up, my main group of mates when I was like a school kid was all people from different schools. So I had this weird kind of like, sort of all the outcasts from everybody. We all got together. And then all of a sudden, we all started wanting to play music. And I mean, it's one of them things, isn't it? You're like 13, 14. And then suddenly school doesn't matter anymore anyway, because all I want to do is finish school, pick up my guitar and go start playing a load of like covers of whatever was cool at the time, you know. But yeah, that's what it was like for me. I sort of don't really remember too much of it, apart from when music came along, and then I quite enjoyed doing the music side of things. But yeah, I sort of let it pass me by in some ways. No drama.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. What about you, Sam?
I'd say I probably didn't like school. Being like a massive dyslexic and everything, school was a little bit rough, but got through it. A bit like Pete, quiet kid, kept my head down, just sort of like, do you know what I mean? I ended up hanging out with a bunch of skaters. That was my kind of clique, I would say.
Yeah.
But school was all right, but just got through it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people just see it as like I got to get through the trenches and I've just got to get out the other side and then I can actually live my life afterwards. Yeah. You're about to go to
3 o'clock
year
and
eight,
then
aren't you?
play the
You're
guitar.
right, yeah.
Yeah. The Casper's just finished for school summer holidays now, so
Fantastic.
he's looking at it from a sunset perspective.
Brilliant.
You're back in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like 5th of September, I think.
5th of September, yeah. Fair enough. Second question I've got for you guys about school, and then we can forget all about it, is can you remember the naughtiest thing that either you or someone else did at school?
For me, today, probably, I didn't do anything too crazy at school. I can't really have that many stories, but probably just bailing out of school to go skating. That was probably my main thing. Did that quite a lot. Probably shouldn't have done it. Parents never knew, so got away with it. But that's my main thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I again, because I was kind of a quiet kid, I tried to stay out of trouble really as much as anything else. I remember the one thing I got told off for when I was really young was stealing a load of highlighters in a class.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know what? I don't like the drama, so I'll stay out of this. I mean, plenty of chaos happened when I was in secondary school, I remember the school getting broken into, and then it wasn't people that I knew, but like friends of friends, and they never did get caught, which is quite amazing, really. I don't know if it was just the year or whatever, but they ended up going in the math class and just sort of like messed a load of stuff up and then running away again. So that was the biggest drama I can remember because they were trying to figure it out for like weeks, but they never
Right,
ever.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nothing too crazy myself.
yeah, I feel like we needed some more rock and roll kind of answer for that one, Pete.
Yeah.
So were people breaking into school outside of school hours, or were they getting like during lunchtime and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like
right?
I don't know if I think they went in and basically in the evening after it was all said and done for the day, and then coming in the morning. And I remember that they had cordoned off that classroom because they had whoever in and the head teacher and that trying to do an investigation and stuff and figure out
Yeah.
what. It wasn't anything malicious. They just sort of throwing the books everywhere because I think basically the window was open and they
Yeah.
just got an open window. I won't name names, but I
No.
remember that being like just crazy. But yeah, I was the kind of kid who was happy to sort of sit back and watch the chaos and
Yeah, yeah.
get involved in it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, fair enough. What's the question that you've got written down then?
What was the first festival you went to as a customer?
Ooh. Shall I start this one, Sam?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, man.
I've been to a few like little shows and stuff when I was probably like 13, 14, like because where we are in Weymouth, there's some quite cool venues nearby. I remember seeing I mean, at that time there was a lot of like post-hardcore emo bands, sort of like doing Bournemouth, Southampton joiners and stuff. But I got last minute, I was 16 years old, and a friend of mine said, "I've got a ticket for Reading Festival. My friend's just dropped out. Do you want to come?" And it was who was it? It was Foo Fighters, Paramore, and The Cure, and who was it? Oh, Kasabian headlining. And it was like the coolest thing I'd ever done. It just absolutely opened my eyes wide because I'd only gone from like little, hometown sort of venues and stuff, and then going to a proper festival and seeing these international sort of like rock star bands. I remember starting a mosh pit to Florence and the Machine, which was just insane. So probably the only mosh pit in that crowd. Really loving it. But yeah, it was just such an experience and really kind of solidified young teenage me being like, yeah, I want to be up there on that stage. That's what I got to aim for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, for me, I'm generally not been to very many festivals. So as like a kid, like not kid, like young teenager, the one we used to go to a lot was like it's not a cool one, but Camp Festival. But apart from that, it's just been 2000 Trees, which I went to like
Okay.
5 years ago. But yeah, I haven't been to many festivals. 2000 Trees is a great festival. Probably has the best kind of upcoming bands on it, I feel like.
Yeah.
Mid-range bands, not upcoming, but like great little festival. But yeah, no, not I haven't been to too many festivals, I'm gonna be honest. Hopefully we can play some coming up
Yeah.
soon.
I'm sure 2000 Trees will take you on. Me and Casper got offered a press pass for 2000 Trees,
oh,
but it
sweet.
was like 3 days before the actual festival.
Oh,
And obviously this is public knowledge at this point, but I crash out a lot. I get quite stressed quite quickly. And the idea of me putting up a tent, not only for myself, but for Casper, I'm completely incapable of putting a tent up. So I was like, do I want to crash out in a field? Bearing in mind I've just driven out, for 4 hours to get there in Cheltenham, I think it is.
yeah.
And then there's this weird paradox where you're kind of like working a festival. So you're not actually going for free, which is a lot of people think, oh, you're volunteering, you're just gonna go there and watch all the bands and rinse us. But, actually prepping interviews and there's like a press pit, I think, where it's just like this constant footfall of people going in and out all the time. But I might look at that potentially in 2027, but I am tempted to just go there as a customer first and then make a decision because I recently went we recently went to Slam Dunk, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I think they got a similar setup where there's like a big press area. Because we usually do Teddy Rocks, but the press area seems to have vanished.
Right.
It's a bit of a shame, but
Well, if
But
you're
yeah.
at 2000 Trees and we're playing there, I'm more than happy to come put up a tent with you, my friend.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'll give you a hand.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a weirdo with like outdoors, and I am a bit of a creature comforts kind of person, really. I like having Wi-Fi and plugs, and obviously some people we know take air conditioning units to fields, so they're
Wow.
kind of just bringing their entire front room with them into a field.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's something to think about, and I think there's a lot of festivals around where we are. Really, we are quite spoiled if we really if we can drive at least. But yeah, all good. Same question for you guys. As Sad Cult, what was the first gig that you played, and potentially what's the first festival that you've been invited on so far?
Well, me and Pete's answers are going to be different because Pete joined later.
I did.
Um, my first gig in SADCULT is my first gig ever. We played the Give Me Shelter festival. I can't remember the name of the pub, but Pete, you probably play there all the time. So that was my. Is that the question you asked? What gig was our
Yeah,
Yeah.
first?
first Sad Cult gig and
That
potentially first Sad Cult festival that you've been offered on.
is that the Belvedere that do that one, Sam?
N-
Back in the day.
not the year when I played. It was like the
Oh,
White Hart, kind of near where Chad lives anyway.
Mm.
oh, I
I think it's whatever it is. The
sure.
Smugglers, I think. The
Oh,
Smugglers, I
probably the
think. Right.
Smugglers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first thing I ever played, and um, but saying that, it wasn't Sad Cult. That was the name before Sad Cult. As Sad Cult, it would have been the Belvedere actually.
Really.
But yeah, not that interesting of a story and not that interesting of a location.
Whereas obviously, yeah, as Sam alluded, I joined a bit later because my man Oliver, love him to pieces. He was playing bass with Sam for a good couple of years when the band was finding its feet and finding its sound. And then Sam had some shows lined up, and Oliver decided it wasn't for him, and he went, "Would you mind?" And then I can't remember, Sam. You'd have to remind me which way round it was, but I did two within a week of each other, and that would be my first gig. Would have been one of them. One was with some like bands from down the West Country, like Exit Away, Plastic Tramps, at the Exchange in Bristol, and the other one was 60 Million Postcards in
Oh
Bournemouth.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We played Sick Joy, which was really cool. I was like, oh my god, all right, good band, like big band, you know. So it's quite an intimidating start, to be honest with you, jumping in the seat with Sam
Mm.
and that. But it was really good fun, really, really good fun.
Mm. I find that
Yep.
those gigs where you've actually got like a timeline and a deadline to like learn a whole set,
Yeah,
I've always found that I've learned the songs quicker
yeah,
rather than you're kind of just floating and swimming with one hand. Otherwise, you're like, oh, well, I might get round to doing this. Whereas if you've actually got stuff in the diary, it's like I actually need to like do this evening. Otherwise, it's never going to happen, sort of thing. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like that. I work quite well under pressure. I think if I'm given too much time, I just never do anything. I procrastinate forever and ever and
Yeah.
ever. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah, that was good fun though.
Awesome.
They were just like little 30-minute sets doing
Yeah.
support. Like it was brilliant. It was a good trial by fire with Sam.
Yeah. Yeah. Casper's got a question for you.
What's the new song? What's the new single Outcry about?
Ooh. Good, Sam.
Damn. New single Outcry. I'm gonna. It's mainly about childhood, dealing with other kids, dealing with spoiled other kids, and that kind of lifestyle and clashing between, don't know, different styles of life. If that makes any sense. Um, but yeah, I just want to say annoying bratty kids not getting along and scraps and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a lot of that as a kid, so kind of felt relatable. And
Mm.
but yeah, that's that's the best I can explain it.
Yeah. Where did you record it?
So half and half, some in this room, and then the drums and everything recorded in what's the studio called again, Pete?
Orchard Studios. It's
Yeah.
just outside of Glastonbury. It's like a little shed with like the
Okay.
most amazing equipment you could ever imagine. It's just like a little, literally like a little one-off place that Joe Marsh, who does all of our sort of like mixing and mastering for us and
Yeah.
a bit of producing, that's his sort of usual spot. So like Sam said, we basically hire it out to get a really nice tight drum sound, like with the really good stuff. And then the room you see behind us, the SADCULT studio, aka Sam's basement, is where we lay down all the guitars, vocals, everything else. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds quite big. I've noticed like with all of your songs, they sound quite sort of, I don't know, it sounds like there's a bit of a heavy sense of like air when you record. And I can't tell other than Casper telling me that you're a three piece
Yeah.
because it sounds like there's multiple guitars and obviously there's layering. And sometimes I wonder how the hell Sam's gonna pull it off with, singing and playing guitars always perplex me. I don't know how people do it. I just think that I'm very much a bassist and I'll do a couple of backing vocals now and then, but you're trying to learn as well, aren't you? How to sing and play guitar at the same time.
Need to get better at
It's like
singing.
playing a video game on insane difficulty, in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, it is though, isn't it? I mean, if you're referring to like how I mean, Sam will tell you all about the recording in a second. But we all sing, all three of us, which really helps with that
Yeah.
live
Okay.
layering. You know, we don't even let Chad get away with it. We make him do a few tracks as well. Because he's unlike me and Sam, he's a tenor, he can hit the high notes, which is amazing. So all those high harmony layers we'll leave to the drummer. I'll do as much harmony as I can. And I do a live thing where I use a bass amp and a guitar amp in a rig. I've been doing
Right.
it ever since I started playing, like way before Royal Blood was cool and all that. And just thickens it up so I can kick an extra amp on, to try and thicken up the sound a bit when Sam goes and does a lead and does a solo, or just to make a chorus sound more meatier. But yeah, I mean, we do go for it when we're layering up for the studio, though.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. You can ask this next question because I've just asked another one off the back of it. So
How long have you been a band?
I would say SADCULT starting like when Chad kind of joined, me and Chad kind of met. 21, I would say, is like the kind of way it all came together because I had different members before, different name, different songs. So yeah, kind of starting in 21, late 21, and then we put our first EP out, Everything You Hate, in like March 22. So when I got Chad, we literally started recording and like I had like a few songs. We're like, we're going to put an EP out in the first like few months of him joining. But yeah, sort of like beginning of 22, late 21 is when SADCULT came together. And then Pete came, I don't know when you came, like 23?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was the autumn, because you were doing Rain at the time, and I'd been lucky enough to go down just as a mate and mix SADCULT a couple of shows. We done this one in a HMV in Yeovil, which was really cool. And we
awesome.
set up
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
floor like bands do, which was brilliant. And I remember Sam was sending me his sort of like mixes of Rain, and there was no leaves on the tree, and it was cold, and I was walking to work. So I think it was autumn 23 I joined, and I was giving him some feedback on the mix for that.
Yeah, I like the fact that HMV do those live things, and it
So
sometimes feels like a company of that sort of stature and size, the fact that they actually let up and coming bands play their store,
yeah,
it feels to me like sometimes these big companies, you've got to jump through so many different hoops.
yeah,
And this is completely unrelated, but I've recently been messaged by a company called Too Good To Go as part of the podcast, and they're all against like food waste. And you go to like a place like Greg's,
yeah.
and you look on their Instagram, and they've got like 400,000 Instagram followers. And they're like, oh, we really like your latest Too Good To Go video that you did. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how's that happen? But I like the fact that the HMV thing happens. Is there much of an application process to that, or is it store by store?
Oh yeah, we've only ever done it in Yeovil, but
Right.
it's super chill. Like we played there like let's say when Pete did sound for us, we played there a few months back, but
Yeah.
they've been nagging us to come back um and play there and everything. And no, they're it can be easier to be honest. They're
Yeah.
super helpful. It's super friendly for bands. It should be a more popular thing, to be
Yeah.
honest. You don't actually see as many bands doing it as they should do, but yeah, it's crazy to play in a 1 o'clock on a Saturday in the middle of a shop and
Yeah.
random people are there. You feel like you're doing their head in, but they're not. But it's great. I really enjoy doing it.
No, it's so cool to bring it to life. And the nice thing is, when you go play a show with them, you can actually do a thing where you can have your CDs for sale in that HMV that you played a show
Yeah.
in, which is so cool for up and coming bands to be able to be like, hey, look, I'm in a HMV. Like, that's
Yeah.
just like one of those really cool, just little life moments where you go, oh, you know what, we're
Yeah.
getting somewhere with this. Like, that's pretty rad. So, yeah, no, I love it. I said we've done it twice now, and it's been really fun and also really chill both times.
I think one thing I'd do in the HMV if I did a live session there is, there's like a whole wall of Funko Pops in every shop in the UK
Yeah.
now. I'd buy them all and I'd launch myself through them. Like, what song is it? Lithium, Nirvana? Where Dave Grohl throws himself through the drum set. I'd do that.
That'd be so
But
cool.
yeah,
Never
that's
done that,
awesome.
Sam. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it more of a like showcase of one band or is it like a whole day thing where you get like six bands back to back in the HMV?
They seem to just do one band at a
Okay.
time, just on a Saturday. Seems to be the
Yeah,
main
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
give you kind of as much time as you want. They say take about an hour, but that's quite a long time for an up and coming original band set. We normally try and go for 45 because we don't like, boring people with too much grunge on a Saturday afternoon. But yeah, it's
yeah.
it's pretty chill. I mean, through the summer, they had a board outside and they seem to be doing like one a week, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's really cool.
Which one of you guys went to MCR again? Was it Sam?
Both of us did.
Both
Yeah,
of you. So
yeah.
I was in Camden for a while before the gig on Saturday, and I thought to myself, this area of London needs more live music because there's like a Coyote Ugly like club in the middle of Camden near the toilets. And I thought to myself, like, one of the things that really attracts people to Camden is like cheap jewelry, crafty shops, and
Market.
the market and the street food.
Yeah.
And it feels like the live music's kind of become a bit missing from that area. And it would be cool if there was like some sort of HMV or some type of thing in Camden, really. I feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity from that side.
No, I think you're right. Imagine how good that would be if there was just like a shop, even if you owned like a record shop. Like if I had a record shop in Camden, I'd
Yeah,
chuck a band on every week. That'd be so good.
that would be
Yeah,
insane.
that's how
And
you make a bit of an atmosphere.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. You get loads of like cross exposure of people just walking
Yeah,
through as well.
yeah.
Awesome. What's the next question you've got?
Was it always a plan to make grunge music?
I'll throw to Sam.
Um, I just feel like, to be honest, I don't really. I think it's just what comes out of me in the nicest way possible. Um, I I feel like I would kind of struggle to like. I don't plan to make grunge music. It just kind of comes out that way, and it kind of becomes how you write, and you find your own style. Do you know what I mean? I've only ever kind of written my own stuff. I never really did much of playing in cover bands or anything. So like songwriting's my thing, and I think after you kind of find your voice and you find what you like doing, I feel
Hmm.
like it's really hard to do anything else. You kind of just feels what right to you, and it when you kind of like start writing something, it's like I don't know, not right. It's just I don't know. It's not really a planned thing. It just sort of sounds that way, and it gets labeled as grunge. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah, I think Sam sounds like Sam, and I mean that in the utmost compliment ever. Even if we sit down and do try and do a bit of someone else's song, it sounds like a SADCULT song, even if it's someone else's. And I think there's a real magic to that, actually. I think, yeah, it's never an intention of being grunge, like you say. When I listen to Sam's approach to music, I hear Jack White, I hear The Cure, I hear all these other influences. But when we sit down as a trio and you just throw your creativity at it, it just sort of comes out in this sort of alternative post grungy space. Yeah. But we're not trying to be, I suppose, are we,
Mhm.
Sam? We're not trying to be a grunge band. We're just trying to
no,
be what we sound like naturally is the three of us.
yeah, definitely not. Like I don't hate the label, or I think the label's quite cool being labeled as grunge. Not a problem. But yeah, we're not like set in our ways in that way. It just sort of comes out that way, and it's kind of cool that we can do other songs and they still come across in that style a little bit, especially when we do songs like Rain, which is like more of a kind of post-punky kind of gothy kind of song.
Mm.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of feel like we're kind of finding our own sound and kind of happy about that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, well, it seems to be getting a lot of people's attention, and I feel like when you do announce a hometown, I'm going to say that again without dying, a hometown show, it does seem to attract a lot of people, and I think in Weymouth that's quite rare, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing really, because we should be celebrating originals bands, I think, down here a bit more, and there's definitely been a time in the past where we have done that, but people are so shot to pieces now with attention. Like, there's been a survey and a study recently where people can't even watch like films anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they have to watch like a film in three pieces. And I'm just
So,
like, everyone's constantly looking for the next thing. And yeah, I'm now 36, 37 years old, and I struggle to watch like a full band lineup nowadays because my back starts hurting. So, but yeah, it's important that we celebrate original music because, you know, it's a bit of an invasive species to have loads of tribute bands and wedding bands, and
yeah.
I get it though. It's money, isn't it, at the end of the day? But yeah, sometimes I think it's a bit of a dying breed to have people that actually write their own music, you know?
It
Yeah,
is. It's a real shame. Go on, Sam.
Mm.
we're such an advocate to kind of try and put Weymouth to have a little bit of a original scene back and really push for it and stick in our lane. I think that's quite an important thing for us because Weymouth now doesn't really have a voice for that, and I think we like to make ourselves known that we're from Weymouth as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's an important thing for us, I feel like.
There's a couple of bands left, but everyone seems to be in like four other bands as well now. And it's like super tricky. Like Roscoe and Co. We really like them,
Yeah.
don't we? I've known Ross. He's been one of like the first couple of bands I've ever been in. He's a ridiculously talented drummer, but he's in a Barry Manilow tribute band as a drummer. So he's kind of joined the dark side, but he's also getting paid
Yeah.
quite a lot of money, so he can do whatever he wants. But there's also the Haze that have gone completely silent for the last like 8 months.
Yeah. What's happened there? Yeah.
And I think the Hooked do some original songs. Is that right? Or are they covers?
Yeah. They do a few, but again, they're only just getting going with it. They do mainly covers, but it's nice to see them give it a go.
Yeah, they're very enthusiastic live. I really like their energy. But,
Absolutely.
there's also bands like the Lego Men that are trying to put original bands on before them at
Mm,
that boat place on the
yeah.
seafront. So yeah, there's a lot going on. It's just knowing where to look sometimes, isn't it? But...
Hello, one and all. Fancy seeing you here. I just want to take a second to promote a product that's quite dear to my heart. I'm very pleased to announce that the podcast is now an affiliate for Vocalzone. As a podcaster, as someone that wants to make this a part of my life, my voice, the ability to maintain my voice for a steady period of time as I record these episodes, make sure that it's in the most tip-top condition it can possibly be, is absolutely essential. For me to do this every single week means that I need some help. So Vocalzone have come along and they've absolutely smashed it. I am a huge fan of Vocalzone. I'm a huge fan of their pastilles. And they don't just make pastilles, they also make tea and they make throat spray. Throat spray is a really interesting one because typically with tea and pastilles you have to actually sort of eat it or digest it and then it kicks in. Throat spray is pretty instant. It's really, really good. I can't recommend it enough. They are specifically formulated to relieve irritation from excessive speaking or singing to help you keep a clear voice. They have been doing this since 1912, and some of the most iconic artists of all time have relied on these products. One of the things that sets Vocalzone apart is that they do not contain any anesthetic that could potentially mask any underlying vocal damage. So you're not going to unknowingly sing or podcast yourself into more issues. The blend of ingredients is pretty unique. I must say, so is the taste. When you take one of these, I cannot explain to you how good your throat suddenly feels. There's this real sense of euphoria when you eat one of these. And they do a honey one, guys. Honey, like this boy. So yeah, if you're looking for a confidence boosting product that won't break the bank, please consider supporting the show and supporting Vocalzone using the website. This will take you to an affiliate link and you'll get 10% off everything on their store. Please check out Vocalzone. They do a lot for the local community around them and I can't think of any product better to keep your throat and your voice in the best possible shape it can be.
Absolute bedlam.
Okay, question that we've not gotten written down, but I want to know from your perspective as people that write music, which is a very rare thing nowadays, and I keep going on about it. I've always found I would consider a band to be a business at this point. So when you have an idea and you're 100% in and you're a band, you now have to do social media. A lot of bands don't do record labels, so they book their own gigs and they advertise their own stuff through social media. So at that point, you're like 70% writing music and playing music, and that's like the whole thing, isn't it? And you don't really want to focus and deviate too much on other stuff. But then you have to work out logistics of getting to the gig and how much stuff you need to take. How much of SADCULT is actually just writing and playing music versus all the other stuff that goes on around that people might not even really know about?
I would say SADCULT writing music is probably down to like 10%.
Yeah.
Is that low now? Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like compared to how much social media and emailing and trying to get on things and trying to build connections, it's kind of crazy how it just gets worse and worse. I think the further you dive into being a band, at the start, it's kind of like music is very much prioritized and you're kind of doing it, and then you kind of realize to grow and build fans and kind of do stuff, it's like you got to do so much of that, and it kind of outweighs the other side of it.
Yeah.
But there's positives and negatives to it, I feel like, but
Mhm.
it's a challenge to balance. But
No, absolutely. I think the thing with it is you have to be a really good band because you throw all your energy on a weeknight. As Sam does this a lot. Is going into like, can I book us a gig? Can I get us on this? Can I get us on that? But you still got to make sure you have enough minutes left in your week to go like, actually, have we done a rehearsal? So if the opportunity comes along,
Yeah.
we're tight. We actually sound really good. Because like you say, it is like a running a business. And Sam would definitely agree with you there. Like it's so much has to go into everything else nowadays. Because we don't have a record label. We don't have any formal management. It's all off our own back. Everything is just the three of us. So it's mega, but we do it for the love of it. We do it because it's important to make a mark and be creative and share human experience through music.
Yeah, fair enough. Next question for you is gonna be that one.
When do you feel most creative to write music?
for me, definitely when I'm feeling gloomy. Definitely not when I'm feeling happy. I think all the kind of music, the best kind of music comes from that area. It's kind of hard to write music when you're like feeling happy. For me, it is anyway. It's more when you it's kind of, I don't want to say it comes from a negative place, but I feel like the kind of music that we write probably does. It's more self-loathing in some ways. That's how I want to say it, probably. But yeah, definitely just when I'm feeling down.
I think for me it's quite interesting because Sam is prolific. You wouldn't know this from the outside, but this boy can just like songs fall out of him. And I think that me and Chad are a little bit different in that we both work really well when we're in a room together. Like when we're sat there with three of us and Sam comes like, oh, I've got this idea. And he puts some chords and some words down. We're like, great. Suddenly the juices start flowing. I think we're really, both of us, really creative when we're in a group scenario more than we are individually at home, tapping on the drums or, playing the guitars in the bedroom. I think we really come to life and really do our best work when we've got that kind of like, oh my God, we've just seen this amazing idea. Like, I don't want to finish this session until we've kind of like got something together. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to ask a question off script. In terms of gear, if the world was your oyster, you just sold out the O2 in London, what gear company would you like to approach or for them to approach you? Any gear company in the world in this hypothetical situation that I made about 6 seconds ago.
I would probably, if I'm gonna, can I pick two?
Yeah, go for it.
For guitars, definitely Fender, and then when it comes to amps, it'd be probably orange. Um, I can't see myself going any other direction, especially Fender for guitars.
Yeah.
I kind of would be my dream to make a signature SADCULT Fender guitar. I'm
I
sure
think,
Peter.
yeah, I think both of us love orange amps. Like I love orange amps to death. My guitar rig that I play in tandem with a bass an orange amp. It's really basic. It's literally like a tiny Terror, but I love the
Yeah,
tone.
yeah.
Like it just does that thing. But if you had to say, I mean, guitars, I play P basses. SADCULT is a P bass. That is the sound. It's been. I feel like he nailed it. 70 years ago, and he's not done. Nothing's as good as that since. For me, for that sound, they just absolutely rip when you stick distortion on them, but they just hold that low end together in a way other stuff can sometimes not. But for bass amps, I wouldn't want another amp. I've got a 1985 Ampeg 410 cab, a
Yeah.
vintage cab, and
Yeah.
I've got a 1000-watt SVT7 Pro head that I've just got secondhand, begged and borrowed over the years. And for me, that is the sound. That is the sound. I think it's the Ampeg sound, and all I would be doing is trading it in for a shiny new one. So I wouldn't want to take any other amp to the O2 than that.
I did. This is when I was like max ego, max in as many bands as possible in Weymouth. Probably about 15 years ago now. I looked at all of the endorsement requirements for loads and loads of. I nearly got endorsed by a company called Mark Bass,
Oh yeah,
and they offered me like 30% off of all their stuff, which was quite cool. I think they're from Italy.
yeah.
Ampeg have the most ferocious requirements for endorsement up there with Mesa Boogie. So Mesa Boogie apparently have never ever given anything out for free. I don't
Wow.
know if that's true or not, but one of the requirements with Ampeg was you have to play Jules Holland at least twice a year,
Says me.
Wow.
which is mental. And it was something like 260 shows a year to be able
Jeez.
to actually, but obviously you can just go and buy an Ampeg,
Yeah.
but for them to like ship one out to you and to become like on their website as an endorsee, it was just so ferocious. And I just thought, bloody hell, how are you gonna, you know, just mental, isn't it?
That's,
But you do see them everywhere.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
260 goes. That's mental. Yeah,
yeah,
but I love it though. They got that sound. I really like the hybrid in this SVT Pro line because I'm not worried about blowing up a million
yeah,
pounds tubes. Tube preamp, solid state main. It never dies. It just sounds the absolute bee's knees.
yeah.
But that's crazy.
Slightly controversial question.
Go on.
What do you think of this new Fender thing that's come out with the lawsuits saying that we want to copyright shapes of guitars?
Oh, it's a load of bullshit. It is, though, isn't it? It is absolutely. Yeah, I won't swear too much. It's like saying I want to copyright the shovel. Like this thing was intentionally not copyrighted by Leo Fender.
Yeah,
Too much time. I personally don't think they're going to get anywhere with it. I really don't. And
no.
I think all they've done is just do a big PR, shoot themselves in the foot. Whatever leadership currently owns that historic, lovely company that we all, appreciate the craft of,
Yeah, yeah,
really should look inwardly after that and kind of think, what on earth are we doing? Yeah.
yeah. What do you think, Sam?
Well, yeah, I agree. I literally agree with what Peter's saying, but I can't believe like after seeing how like that kind of
Yeah,
similar thing happened to Gibson, and they're
yeah,
almost
yeah.
trashing them for like years, and then I don't understand why Fender would come along and try. That's the weirdest thing for me. Like, from a PR perspective, it's not going to go down well.
No.
Like no one's going to like it, but
There's also this unwillingness now as well on social media, at least, where like everyone thinks it's a bad idea and they just keep going with it.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
bizarre.
like, it's a bad idea. And occasionally you see this happen where, like, this is proper mental, but I play Pokemon Go a lot, even 10 years after it came out. Occasionally, Pokemon Go, which is owned by a company called Niantic, people will tweet and tag and they'll go mental if something breaks in the game or an event doesn't work properly. So what Niantic then do is they compensate people for the event falling apart. But sometimes it's like they just don't care. And like you start seeing like hashtags, hashtag Fender, like monopoly, hashtag stop this is crazy.
Yeah.
But it feels like they've already made their decision and they're just kind of letting us know as like a kindness to keep us in the loop. But they
Yeah.
should have done this at the start, really, rather than retrospective. Like, think how many Fender-shaped guitars there are now. You know, it's just a
I
shame.
mean, there's been S-type copies made by name brands since, like, doing phenomenal is their own thing. Like, you think about like the Super Strat sort of 80s thing. Like, it's been going on for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mental to think that they can at all take ownership over something now. I don't think that they will. If they do, it will be insane, and I'm sure the counter lawsuits will be equally as insane. Yeah,
I think as a non-guitar company owner, I'd even be happy to pay Fender 15% royalties and just carry on as normal and just acknowledge that, like, if you're going to go down like the song route, it could be like you're covering a song and you're acknowledging that Taylor Swift wrote that song. But instead, it's like we're just going to copyright you and sue you and send our best lawyers out and sort of burn you and bury you. Do you know what I mean?
it's mental.
It
Maybe
is
there is
weird.
dead for I've made an exact Strat. It's got 3 pickups. It looks identical. It's trying to be the same headstock, the same everything.
Yeah.
Maybe something to be said for that. But if you're like, oh, here's my Charvel, I'm not trying to be a Strat. It just looks like one.
Yeah.
It's got completely different electronics, pickups, a completely different approach for a completely different genre. Like, I don't think that should ever be into question that that is a different instrument.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely not. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like you're paying honor to it versus trying to create.
Yeah.
Like, you see Audi and Lidl, they make stuff that's almost identical to the
Exactly.
products that,
Yeah.
they call it like Kindo, not
Yeah.
Kinder. And it's
Yeah.
like, how can you get away with this, but not others? But yeah, right. Okay. Actually, back onto music, sorry.
That's cool.
Number 7 for you.
What's your favourite SADCULT song?
I'm gonna go with a new one. I'm gonna say my favorite new one is Perfect Perfume. I think that's like the first song production wise we recorded as well. We were just like, this is a SADCULT song. This sounds exactly how we want it to sound. And it's catchy and it's cool and it's easy to play live. So Perfect Perfume, I think I think that song newest. It'll change in a few months. I'll probably say something different, but I would go with Perfect Perfume right now.
Yeah. Now, bang on. That's a really good shout. I think, like you say, that's the first time we had a SADCULT record out that sounded exactly like we wanted SADCULT to sound, and we kind of come out of that, baby era of finding our feet. Yeah. But I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna throw way back and say that my favorite one from from an everything perspective, actually, from a writing, from a structure, from sort of a vibe perspective, is probably Rain. I think that was the song that came out right before I joined. I didn't play on it as much as I would have loved to have. But there's something, I don't know, for me, I listened to that track and it reminded me of like Slow Dive and Disintegration by The Cure. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And it has that wall of sound, heavy shoegaze ending. And yeah, I just think Sam wrote an absolute cracker with that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's your favourite SADCULT song, Casper?
Yeah, I want to hear. Low. Yes.
Low. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that song.
Are you going to cover
It's
it?
a special song.
If I figure it out.
So you've got tabs, right, of their songs. You learnt their songs by ear.
Let's Drown. I used some tab video
on my guitar.
No, it was in YouTube.
On YouTube.
But Hate Love, I just had to watch the
Okay.
I just had to listen to it.
That's impressive.
Any chance of getting some tabs out?
Yeah, we've got a few tabs.
Okay.
I think we've only got like 3. I think we put out Outcry tabs today.
Okay, cool.
And I Let's Drown, and I think Last Song, but we need to get around to writing more tabs.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future some fans start doing our tabs, but
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Outsource the work, right?
Yeah. Because it's
Okay.
not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, no,
No.
fair enough. Casper's got one last question, and then I've got one last question, then I'll leave you to your day. So yeah, over to you and the green
What are your three favourite bands?
ever.
Oh,
Gives me
Three.
Living
three
on
favorite
the
bands, was it?
Three favorite bands.
That's just too hard.
is it? It is, isn't it? If
Jamie, my editor, can you put some elevator music in, please? That would be fun.
While Sam's thinking, I'll
Yeah.
go with my three favorite bands right now. And I'm gonna start by throwing it back with a record that I'm playing on loop lately because we wanted to listen to it when we were doing the production of this, and that is Surfer Rosa by the Pixies. I've been listening to that album loads and loads and loads. I think the Pixies are just timeless.
Yeah.
The production on Surfer Rosa in particular as this kind of album that's pre-alternative music, that kind of, it's late 80s, but it sounds like something that could have come out in the late 90s, like early 2000s. It's got this attitude and this edge and this sound that's so special. But yeah, love the Pixies. My other favorite band, there's always a favorite band, is again 90s group from Seattle, Death Cab for Cutie, which is not like a heavy grunge band at all, but they've got this really unique sort of thing about them. Absolutely love them to pieces. And the other band I'm going to say, which is a modern band, which is always in my top few bands and never not in my top few bands, is Basement. I love Basement.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely love
Very
Basement.
cool. Yeah.
Go on, Sam. Is that giving you enough time?
I think straight off the bat, I would say it's so hard to pick three. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to like nail down like 3 years of my life that I feel like. But I would say number one would be probably Green Day, early Green Day. Do you know what I mean? SADCULT's very inspired by them. And it's a weird one. I'm going to say for number two is I'm going to say the Arctic Monkeys because I don't really listen to them now, not the new stuff or anything. But when I was like in year 8 in school, like they were my band. That's the first band I fell in love with. So I felt like when that first album came out and the second album came out, like it was all I listened to. So it feels like important to me to say that band. But and then for my third band is a small band called The Witches. They're a Brighton band. I think they're truly underrated. I would recommend listening to them. They kind of got like a surf grunge kind of sound, and I feel like no one sounds like them. And they record all their stuff on like tape, and I think they're incredible, and they deserve so much to be so much bigger. Like I feel like to me, they deserve to be on like Nirvana, White Stripes, bigness, and they're just a tiny little band from Brighton. They probably don't want me saying they're a tiny little band, but yeah. So The Witches, Green Day, and then the Arctic Monkeys for me, I'm gonna say.
Wonder if the Surfing Birds have ever played with the Witches, because it sounds, I don't know if you know them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, we need to go.
They're a two-piece. I think they're still going. I know Paolo, I used to know him quite well, but I think I recorded with them about 5 years ago to do a podcast. I can't remember. It's all a bit of a blur. It was on audio, I think. But yeah, maybe they need to meet at some point if they're both surfy.
Probably.
What's your three favourite bands?
My three favorite bands. Oh my God. Oh, now or in the past? Oh, Sleep Token.
Go on. Great shout.
You've really put me on the spot.
Love Sleep Token. Yeah.
In Me.
Okay.
I think their first two albums you'd really like.
Not that
They're
familiar.
very, very grungy and very like kind of introspective and like woe is me, and the production quality in like 1995 or whatever wasn't very good. Ooh, third band. I feel like I've done this hundreds of times now. I want to say Feeder or Devon Townsend,
Okay.
but I also really like Russian Circles, who are like an insanely heavy industrial three-piece instrumental band. I'll send you some links after this because their drummer is they use a lot of looping when they like layer their songs live, and none of it's pre-recorded.
Oh, amazing.
So it's literally like you live and die by your own There's a funny Instagram post actually, Mike, their guitarist, and he was like, never smile on stage. It either means something catastrophically bad's happened,
Yeah.
or like, you've just completely missed a whole section of a song. And they're insane. I really,
Wild.
really want to see them. I want to take you actually when you're old enough. Go on then. It's not fair for everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What's your top three?
We
before
want it.
before that, is Weather State a band from Weymouth?
Weather State are a band from Weymouth slash
They are.
Bristol. Yeah.
What have I been listening to?
What have you been listening to? Jamie, get that elevator music back on me.
SADCULT.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
go on.
Um,
I feel like I might know your second.
I don't listen to them that much anymore, but Nirvana, they really got me into like that kind
They
of
are amazing.
music.
Yeah.
Um,
What about
And-
Mashy P?
I like Smashing Pumpkins, but other than their big ones, I don't really listen.
I agree.
Listen to them.
Yeah. Who do you listen to a lot in the car?
Acid Bath.
Acid Bath at the
Acid
moment.
Bath.
Okay.
I like them.
System of a Down?
Not one of my big three.
No.
Do know a bit of
Hmm.
system.
Okay. We might have to do a separate video on this.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Have you got any gigs coming up?
In 2026, have you got any gigs booked?
Ooh.
So we're kind of gigless at the moment, but we're trying to get some good stuff in the calendar. We're kind of stuff to be announced and stuff, like we're trying to, like, so when it comes to like headline shows and stuff, we want to make them really special. So when they come around and when we plan them, like we want to make sure it's like it's there for the fans and everything and it's right. But yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up, but nothing announced at the moment.
Keep your eyes out.
Cool. And if you got any local ones, then Casper would love to come and play a song with you.
Excellent. That'd be so cool.
I'm trying to get Casper into some studios at the moment because I think he's found his calling now. And every time he's not at school, he's just absolutely hammering away at music.
Brilliant.
And it's cool to see that he's found his voice.
Definitely.
And
It's so cool
there's-
seeing you play some of our songs. Like that's so special.
Yeah.
So for granted as well. I know we spoke about it earlier before, but yeah,
yeah.
that's so sick, and we can't thank you enough.
There's a couple of recording studios around here. There's one in Dorchester called Echo Town,
All right, yeah.
which is literally like the sharpest left turn in existence as you're going towards Bridport.
I've not been there.
I've not been there either, yeah.
But it feels like if you want to actually make it as like a session musician,
Mm.
I think there's a couple of people that I know quite well now from Bath and Bristol.
Yeah.
And there seems to be quite an affluent request for people to sort of session on each other's songs and stuff.
Okay.
But when he's 17, he needs to learn to drive. That is going to absolutely change your life, I think. Because
Definitely.
I can't be your Uber driver forever. Can you both drive?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
How
important.
much did it change your life when you got your pink license?
I did it later than Sam. I didn't do it until after uni because I went to Southampton.
Yeah, no point at uni, is
Connections
there?
were great. I never had a need to really. The Weymouth was just direct and easy. And then for me, after uni was COVID. And then like I didn't do it then for a bit. And then I finally did it when probably a lot later than some people, but oh my God, what a difference.
Yeah.
It opens up your whole world. Like, yeah. I mean, a random side story. I won an amp on eBay for 20 quid.
Okay.
But, like, to get there would have been an absolute nightmare if I couldn't drive, an hour up the road and back through this tiny little village out near Guildford and then back again. Like it would have been basically just like I wouldn't have bothered in the first place. So yeah. Yeah. Love that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I love a side quest in a car and I love an adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Sam? Have you got a car now?
Yeah, I got a
relying
van.
on it?
No, we got
Yeah.
a van. You need a van if you're in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bad
definitely.
van for the sad
Yeah,
van.
we got some big amps, so you need a big van.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think, Jimmy, don't realize how important it is until your van is in the garage or your car, and then you take it all for granted. You're like
100%.
taking public transport when you like know how to drive just feels like hell.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I've
You
got
kind of
my
take it all for granted, I feel like,
I've got my
until you don't have it.
service. I've got my service and MOT next month, and I'm dreading it already.
Yeah.
And I work in the town that I live in. I've literally got no business worrying so much about it. But yeah, it's just that sort of autonomy, isn't it? Of like, I just don't need to worry about getting on a bus or
Yeah,
skiving a lift off someone or,
yeah.
But
Can we
yeah.
go at your own pace? Yeah.
Well, it's been lovely meeting you.
And you?
Likewise.
Appreciate that it's been a bit of a long-standing thing. Um, and yeah, I think initially we got in touch on Facebook because I wanted to share Casper's covers with you. And then my content brain kicked in and I weaponized it.
Nah, nah.
We love it.
Thank,
We love it.
thanks for reaching out. Thanks, honestly.
It's all
Thanks for
right, no
reaching out.
worries.
No, it's
Yeah,
been
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done anything like this, Pete, have we?
No, we haven't. We've never been on a podcast. So yeah, first SADCULT podcast. You can write that on there.
Yeah. And check out the single Outcry.
Yeah, out today.
Awesome.
I don't know when this video comes out, but
Probably in a week or two.
it's a week old.
I've told my editor to take a week off because he's been so crazily like there's been a couple of episodes recently that I've recorded and within 48 hours he's like I've edited it and it's up on Google Drive for you. And I'm like, what the
Wow.
Like, that's too efficient. You
Yeah.
need to touch
Chill
some
out.
grass, Jamie.
Yeah.
But he is a legend and I do pay him, so it's a bit more of a side gig really. But yeah, I've told him to go on holiday for a couple of weeks. It just never ends otherwise. And I want him to enjoy editing versus grinding, you know? Yeah. Awesome. Any last words for the people inside Cult?
Where can I find the Outcry tabs?
Ooh.
I'll send you the link afterwards to your
Yeah.
dad. But yeah, it's on Ultimate Guitar tabs, but I'll send them over.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm
No
sure
worries.
he's not going to sleep tonight now learning them.
Yeah. It's fairly easy. You'll
Yeah.
crack it.
It's a straight up like riff rock song. It's nothing too crazy on the lead lines.
Are you missing playing music already? I can tell.
I'm stimming out.
You're twitching.
It's young-
This is the longest he's ever not been playing guitar around my house.
Amazing.
Awesome. All right, we'll leave you to it. Thank you so much.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Thank you
Cheers,
so much.
guys.
Bye.